This is your plank workout. We have 5 exercises here. We're gonna aim for 1 minute per exercise, but don't worry if you're not quite there yet. And we'll be going through it on 4 times through. So that's 5 exercises, 1 minute on each, with 4 sets in total. So your 5 exercises are, we're starting with a classic plank. From then, we're gonna go for walkouts. After that, work some dolphins, some Swiss balls, and then finishing off with your commandos. So this workout is all about your abdominals, all about working that core and keeping everything nice and tightly engaged. We will slightly use a little bit of upper body, a little bit of lower body, but our main focus today is working those abs. We're going to be building a little bit of muscle and tone here. That is our primary focus. You don't need very much, just a mat will do. We're going to use a Swiss ball for one of the exercises, so make sure you've got one of those at hand. And you don't need that much space, just a little bit of room. Before we get going today, make sure you've warmed up, done a few stretches, elevated your heart rate a little bit, and you're ready to go. We're going to get straight in with the first exercise. So this exercise is your standard plank. For this, we have elbows on the floor and feet nice and close together. You're gonna keep your bum, head, and back all in nice one straight line. Our core is tight, our hips are down. You wanna keep those hands separated and keep a nice little distance between your feet. So if we need a quick, easy regression here, you're just gonna pop those knees onto the floor, but making sure that your back is still nice and straight and long. We're staying nice and strong here for 1 minute, if possible, and then we will move on. So this exercise is a plank walkout. For this, we are up onto our hands this time. We have a slightly wider stance with the feet. All you're gonna do is take those arms out in front of you, walking them forward a few paces, and then walking them back underneath your shoulders. So that's walking those hands forward a few paces, and then walking them back underneath your shoulders. Everything else should be exactly the same as your standard plank. Our core is nice and tightly engaged, and our back is long. If you do need a slight regression here, you can just pop those knees down once again and continue with the walkout, walk back in, keeping that back nice and straight. 1 minute and then moving on. This exercise is a dolphin plank. So we are back onto our elbows here for this next one. Nice wide stance with the feet again. We start from our standard plank position, and then we are going to elevate our hips as high as we can into the air before bringing them slowly back down to that original plank position. We need to move through the shoulders here as well, keeping that back as straight as you can the whole time. Nice and slow and controlled through this movement. If you need a regression, you can just pop those knees on the floor once again and move those hips up as high as you can and back to that original position. 1 minute here and we'll move on. This exercise is a Swiss ball plank. So for this, you need your Swiss ball. We are coming into a very similar position. Our elbows are on top of that ball and we have a nice wide stance with the feet. Everything else is exactly the same as your normal plank. Our hips are in line, our back is straight, our core is tight, and we are working through those abdominals. Make sure to apply pressure through those elbows to keep that back strong. And if you do need a regression, just pop those knees down onto the floor, but make sure you're keeping everything else in that perfect straight line. 1 minute, and then moving on to the next exercise. This exercise is called commandos. So for this, we are starting up on our hands in that nice plank position. Go for a slightly wider stance to balance yourself here. You're gonna work down onto the elbows and then pushing back up onto the hands. So it's down to the elbows and up to that hands. Make sure that you swap sides and swap arms with each rep here so you're not using the same arm to push yourself back up every single time. If you do need a slight regression, again, you can just pop those knees onto the floor and make sure everything else is exactly the same. Great job there, guys. Really well done. Good little workout. We should be feeling this across our abdominals, slightly down the sides of the body, and maybe a little bit in our shoulders. So we've been building a little bit of tone and muscle today. That's going to really help with your posture and everyday life, and also lower your risk of back injuries. Before you do anything else, make sure you've cooled yourself down, had a breather, done a few quick stretches, and lowered that heart rate. If you've enjoyed today's plank workout, make sure you check out our suggested videos and don't forget to subscribe.